time. Hello,
Hey,
everybody. What's
hey,
up?
friends.
It's Chris from the Charity Board Gamer. I have a special guest tonight, a fellow dad, first-time dad. And
Yeah, first Father's Day this Sunday for me.
I know
I hope
this.
it does good.
I'm excited for you because the pictures and the videos. Is it Evie? Is that how you say it, or is it Evie?
Yep, we call her Evie. Yep.
Okay,
Evelyn Rose, and she responds pretty well to Evie.
Okay, Evie. I just want to make sure I said it right. Some people say Evie, some people say Evie. But she is beautiful.
Yeah, she looks just like her mom's. Got big blue eyes, so definitely a cutie pie.
That's awesome. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about Matt. We're going to talk, of course, about fatherhood because it is Father's Day weekend this weekend. It's something special. We're going to be talking about some of the latest games that are coming from Bezier. As you know, Matt, usually if you have been to conventions, you'll usually see Matt out on the floor. Well, there's no conventions right now. So we need to find something for Matt to do. So we thought, come on over here and visit us.
Yeah,
so
exactly. We can't be in face-to-face, but I love talking to you, so we might as well do it on webcam.
And then we're going to talk about the Wolf Conservation Fund tonight, which is an organization that helps out with, how do I say it? With helping with rehabilitation and breeding and being able to get wolves back out of extinction, especially red wolves, which I think you told me there's like 20 right now in the wild.
Yes, there's only 20 red wolves still living in the wild. The rest are either in captivity or being bred to re-release in captivity. And I feel like because the wolf is such a broad species, a lot of people aren't aware that there are issues with red wolves and them being removed and killed in their environments.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about all of those things tonight. But let's start off with the first part. Let's talk a little bit about you, Matt. So tell us about your whole development into board games. What kind of got you into them? And maybe just a little bit about how you got involved with Bezier.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've always been a gamer. Through high school and stuff, it was typically D&D and video games. But as I got older, I realized that there are plenty of board games out there to kind of fill those niches and to get the face-to-face contact I really enjoyed when I was playing games. Because a lot of times when people started playing games, it was online, which is fine. But the face-to-face contact with people and interactions what got me into board games. Now, as far as getting on board with Bezier, that's a little bit more unique. So I was actually the area manager for Chipotle restaurants in Knoxville. I opened and ran all the stores here, but I was working 80 hours-ish a week. So my wife started going to playtesting for Bezier. So after she did that, they sent out an email and they were looking for a trade show manager. And I sent them a big, long email. I'm like, hey, I have no experience, but I love games and I'm really friendly and I know a lot about hospitality. So I think that if you guys are willing to train me, I would be happy to step into this role for you. I had my second interview at Origins with Ted, and they hired me the next week. So it just was a happy circumstance that ended up with me getting to work at Bezier.
So working for Chipotle. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I miss the free burritos. I'll tell you, that's the benefit I probably miss the most. Free burritos.
I think whenever I go to Chipotle, it's like a double steak burrito with a spicy salsa, or I don't remember. I think that's what it is, and then just a little bit of cheese. More meat than anything else.
Oh yeah, I get the chicken, but I get it the same way. Always double chicken.
Oh yeah, it's so good. Remember, folks, double meat. You can do it at Chipotle,
and it's worth it.
So 80 hours. I remember that lifestyle working as a restaurant manager back in the day.
But yeah, it's the standard for that industry, and people don't always realize that. And honestly, it was so nice to step into a job where the expectation was 40 hours a week. I'm like, what do I do with the rest of my time?
I have 40 hours free?
Yeah.
What do I do with those 40 hours?
I'll tell you what I did is I had a baby.
What?
Yeah. She gets at least the other 40 hours of the week easily.
That's pretty awesome. And we were talking just before we came on live that Matt had something to celebrate this week, which was that Evie slept through the whole night.
She did, which means Dad slept through the whole night. It's just now starting to happen, so it's inconsistent. But we usually are only getting one little wake at night. But I got a whole night's sleep the other night, and I'll tell you, as a dad, that is probably the best thing that can happen.
So do you and your wife, do you rotate who gets up during the night, or
So
are
I'm
you
a
all
night
kind of
owl. I'm typically up till midnightish playing typically online games or playing board games, or I actually have been playtesting the Silver app a lot, so I'll be doing that stuff later at night. So I'm in charge until like 1 or 2. When it crosses the 2 o'clock mark, my wife's an early riser, so that's when she takes over responsibility. So instead of rotating, we just split the time.
That's pretty good compromise. I like that. I like that a lot. So tell me about fatherhood. What has it been like for you? What has been the most what's been some of the most exciting things that have happened thus far? I know it's only been 6 months that she's been on this earth, but
Absolutely.
yeah,
It's so unreal to watch her learn things. It's so cool to watch her figure things out on her own. And it's hard to watch her get frustrated and not jump in and help. But it's the reward of her figuring it out herself is really amazing. And I'd say the second best thing is laughing. Like when she laughs, like I can't help but crack up. Like even if it's at something completely weird, like I just start cracking up because her laugh is adorable. I'm sure all babies' laughs are adorable, but whenever I hear it, I have to see what she's looking at or what she's doing. I'm like, I want to make her laugh more.
what have you done that has made her laugh the most?
She likes
From daddy to
raspberries
daughter.
right now. She likes
Raspberries.
raspberries, yes, because
Okay.
she started figuring out how to make them. And so I think that she gets excited when she's making them and you're making them. That's when I get the biggest laughs out of her.
But now, how is she making the raspberries? She's just doing that
Just
on
like
her own.
yeah, this upper lip over bottom lip and all the spit in the world just blowing little bubbles. It's adorable.
That's really cool. So, gosh, I just want to talk about fatherhood so much. So, Father's Day, of course, first time.
I
So,
know.
do you have
Quarantine
anything?
Father's Day is going to be unique, but we'll do something special.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ultimately, it's being able to spend time with our kids and just kind of have fun doing that. I know for us this Sunday, we're just gonna kind of chill back, relax, grill outside, and then we're gonna play board games all day. That's what Daddy asked for Father's Day, is just to be able to sit around the table with the family and just enjoy their company. That's what it's about. So
Yeah, and no nothing, no distractions, no other things. Like it sounds like it's something that happens often, but like when you can really focus down, I think that it makes it that much more special. We got a big inflatable pool, and Evie likes
ooh.
water, so I think on Sunday we might go swimming in our little inflatable pool together for Father's Day, which I would love because I'm a big water guy too.
Now you've got like the was it for like walks and stuff? You have like the little front backpack thing for
Yep,
Evie
the
and stuff.
papoose. I love the papoose. Like I at first I was a little apprehensive. I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to carry her around. I can just hold her in my arms. But I'll tell you, when I'm like vacuuming or doing laundry or a handful of other things, putting her right in that papoose and I can do stuff, and she's just happy as a clam, just smiling and waving her hands around. So those things are lifesavers.
That's really awesome. Um, yeah, I remember having one, like it would go on my back when we would go hiking. Yeah, I wasn't always this size, but we would go hiking and I would hike with her on my back or on my front, and it would just always be a blast just going for those walks. So,
Yeah,
but
you
yeah,
said that was one of your special daddy-daughter dates, which is an idea I'm definitely going to start adopting because I think
yeah.
that that special time is just, I think you have to set it aside for it to happen.
We still have daddy daughter dates to this day. Sometimes it'll be like, and I recommend it. Take her out, just you and her. Take her out to like a nice restaurant, something fun that she likes. Maybe there's a movie that she wants to go see. Make that daddy daughter time. Buy her popcorn. Hold the door open for her. Make her know that she is special. So, and that's how she should be treated: is that she is special and respected and loved, and just have fun with it. Like even at home, what we do at home is we'll the boys will go to bed. Beth will put the boys to bed, and then we'll watch Stargate SG-1. That's our daddy daughter time right now.
Oh,
Yeah, we love Teal'c, and of course Colonel Jack O'Neill, which is awesome.
that's
Looks like
super awesome.
Angelica's on here saying hey. Angelica is
Oh,
my all-time favorite Canadian, just so everybody knows. Favorite Canadian right there. So, but I've told her that a couple times. But yeah, no, that's kind of I highly recommend it because those daddy daughter dates mean so much, and I don't know. Hopefully it's making an impact with our daughter, and I know that it will definitely make an impact with yours. So especially, I know we talked about bike riding and hiking and everything. So,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm gonna have to get back into bike riding. It's one of those things where like I was trying to when you mentioned it to me as a dad or daddy date, I was like, I don't know the last time I've ridden a bike. And then I was like, I should probably look into that.
It's so good. You get the little jogger thing that goes on the back of the bike that you can attach to it, or you can use it for jogs and stuff. Pop that on the back of the bike, take her to the park, just ride around like if they have like those the little spots that bikes can ride on, the bike routes, enjoy it, have fun, then go play on the swing sets, have some daddy-daughter time, and then ride back. Some of the best memories. Some of the best.
That's awesome. Probably get ice cream too sometimes. I mean, you gotta get ice cream too
definitely
sometimes.
got to. I mean, late night milkshakes, French fries. Daddy's gonna go out to Wendy's and get some fries and stuff. Shh, don't tell your brothers. Or of course, like you just happen to stop by. I don't know if you have a Cookout. Have you ever been to Cookout?
Oh, we do. We do have one. Their milkshakes are out of this world.
Bingo. Just go there for a quick milkshake or a cheer wine float. Just be like, whoops, accidentally turning into here. I guess we're gonna have to get one on the way home. Don't tell your brothers. Even as she walks in with a cup. I don't know how this got here.
I found this. I'm not sure.
Some random person gave it to me. No, she doesn't lie. Thank the Lord. But I'll just be kind of like, no, I don't know where she's getting that. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Somebody just said some good ideas. Thank you. Very cool.
That's my friend Cinda. I love Cinda. She is amazing.
Yeah, that's kind of what we do. That's what we have a lot of fun with. Yeah. So Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you, Matt.
Yeah, and of course to you as well, Chris. I'm excited to hear your ideas because they are going to give me ideas for the future.
Oh, it's so much fun. Do you ever sing to her at all, or?
That is the thing I pretty much do nonstop. Like that's the one thing that if she's ever like upset or frustrated, like a really good Beatles song usually mellows her right out. She loves the Beatles.
Which Beatles song?
Let It Be and Yellow Submarine are probably her two favorites.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, Yellow Submarine if she wants to be goofy, and then Let It Be if she like I need to lullaby her a little more.
So yeah, I would do She's Got a Ticket to Ride. I would do that one. And then I would do Johnny Cash. Ring of Fire. I don't know why, but Ring of Fire. She loved it. We were at the...
Must be that like deep baritone in the voice.
Yeah, it wasn't... I don't understand it. It was like... like bouncing her while doing that rhythm and just kind of having fun with that. And she would just calm down. She was getting a shot right after the shot. Kids don't like shots. I don't like shots as a grown-up.
I'm right there with you.
But you calm them, you soothe them, you let them know that they're loved and that they're secure and that they're safe. And you sing a little song. I mean, it goes a long way. So, yeah, that. And then we sang James Taylor, Close Your Eyes. That's a good song that we sing. And then In Your Eyes by, of course, Peter Gabriel. So
that's great.
Hey,
she sounds like she's going to have good musical taste as she grows up.
I don't know. She's been listening to a lot of Marshmello lately, and I forget who the other... So I don't know who the other artist that does it, but she likes NF, which I like NF. So, and then I'm trying to think who else that she's been listening to, but I don't know. We always joke about each other's music, of course, because I enjoy the older stuff from the 80s and the 90s and things, and she likes what's actually good, as she refers to it. So,
it's okay. In a couple of years, I'm sure she'll realize that the old stuff isn't too bad. It's pretty good.
I hope so. Just be prepared for it when that happens. There will be those times. So we're talking about Bezier tonight as well. So what are some of the games that we need to know about that we are sadly not able to see here currently, but where could we possibly see them and everything? I'd love to hear about what is out. What is out?
Absolutely, Chris. Of course. So we have 3 big titles coming out this year. I say big because they're the ones we're going to be featuring the most. You'll see the most places. We have a bunch of stuff in playtesting right now that is going to be coming out early 2021, but we'll focus on 2020 stuff. So the first one that's coming out, and it's actually available now, it became available at the beginning of June, is Silver Coin. So with Silver Coin, it's the 3rd in the Silver series, which is really, really cool because the Silver games play really great as standalones, but the more you have, the more you can mix and match. So if you have just one Silver game, that's awesome and great. and you can play with people. But as you add more, you can mix and match the numerics, you can mix and match your favorite powers and build a really unique deck of cards, which is one of the coolest things about it for me, is because I've never found a game boring. Because it's like if you feel like something's too light or it's not aggressive enough or it's too aggressive, you can just adjust some of the cards around. That's why I think Silver is probably one of the most versatile games. I also grew up playing a lot of card games like Euchre and Rummy and Cribbage and stuff. So I'm a big card game fan. So having a game like Silver in our catalog is really great because card games are my bread and butter.
What else do you have coming out? Now, I've played Silver. I know I'm not on the screen. Let me see here. But I've of course played Silver and was it? Oh, that'd be good if I put that up, right? Yeah. Yeah, and I've also played this one. I've not played Coin yet, but I really do like how when I opened up Silver, there was something hiding underneath the actual.
You found it, yeah. That's only in the first printing of Silver Amulet. So you have one of the rarer copies that will exist. But in Silver Amulet, if you do have one of the first printing copies, make sure to pull your insert up. There is something in there.
There is a secret. It's a super secret. So yeah, no, I was really excited about that because then I'm like, oh, I have something else I can add to this game. And then you added a different little mechanic when you all did Silver Bullet, which had the thing where the deck could be basically turned upside down.
The cow flips it over, which is such a cool idea.
I like that idea. So what's something new that you added in when you all did Silver Coin?
Yeah, so when I'm talking about the games, I say Silver Amulet's a great introduction. It gives you a great stepping stone into the game, gets you the basic mechanics and symbology. Silver Bullet is going to be a little more aggressive. You're going to interact with the other players a little more. The token of the game is a bullet, so it is a little more aggressive. The token in the C deck is a coin. And so one of the cool things we kind of did with the thematicness of that is a lot of the coin cards are going to have flip abilities where you can turn cards up and turn other cards face down. And you can use special abilities by taking cards that you have face up and choosing to turn them face down. So you can take an additional turn, or you can turn one of your other cards face up. So if you're interested in Silver, there's also a free app you can download that currently has the Amulet deck in it. And we are playtesting to put the Bullet deck in it, hopefully in the next month or two. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But it still is in playtesting. We want to make sure there's no bugs with the B deck. But you'll be able to play both of them and mix and match them in the app against the computer. Yep, that's the beautiful app right there. I love the background screen. It's so beautiful.
Oh, it's so nice. And then, I know you all just recently put out a score sheet.
Yes. That was actually this guy's idea. I don't like to brag on myself too much, but I was like, why do we have these score sheets? I feel like we're so early 2000s. It's got to have digital score sheets. Let's get with the times. So we made a really easy score calculating app.
Yeah, I like that because then I'm not having to do as much math, which is good. So
yeah, especially when you're playing. Sometimes I like to play late at night. I'm like playing like 10:30 or 11, and I'm just like the math is just like all up here. Like
it's gone. I got done teaching it to the kids. Now I need to just shut everything off. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no.
So that's what C is kind of unique, but like I said, that one's available now. But the other two titles we're going to talk about are actually available for pre-order on our website as well. So if you go to beziergames.com, you can get on the site and order Coin and also pre-order the other two titles we're going to talk about. So I'll go ahead and feed right into the next one, which is going to be our Gen Con release. It's called Whistle Mountain. Now, this one you guys have probably seen a lot of pictures of everywhere. It's good by Scott Caputo and Luke Laurie. So Scott Caputo did Whistle Mountain for us, which is a huge hit. And so Whistle Mountain is a very different game, but has a lot of the same feelings of multiple victory conditions. So you're building essentially machines in a valley. And as you're building these machines in the valley, once you get to a certain point, you've built too many machines, the valley starts to flood. You've displaced water. So as the valley floods, that's going to be the end game condition. When the water hits a certain point, the game is going to end. So as you're doing this, there's a little bit of rush feeling, but it doesn't happen till the very end of the game. So it's like you feel like you're doing really good engine building, you're doing really good worker placement, and then all of a sudden the end game starts to catch up really fast. And I think that's one of the feelings I really like because I don't feel rushed. until we decide to feel rush. I think it's kind of cool.
That's pretty neat. I like the idea of that because I enjoyed Whistle Stop, and so when I heard Whistle Mountain, I was kind of like, what makes this different? What really makes it?
Yeah, it feels like a completely different game. Like mechanically, not similar at all. You'll see the same symbology, same fun, because, like I said, it's a Scott Caputo game, so we really wanted to make sure that it had a feeling like it connected somehow to Whistle Stop, because that's one of his most proud titles. Mm-hmm. So we made sure to connect it there, but mechanically, I'll tell you, it feels a lot different. But it's a blast. There's a couple playthrough videos out right now, but I think there's only one physical copy of the game floating around. So in a couple of months, when we get the rest of them in, we'll be able to put them into bigger circulation.
Yeah,
for you guys to all demo.
Hey, I am all for that. Are you going to be demonstrating that at any convention soon, like digitally, for people to try out?
Yeah. So so we were hoping to do it for the virtual Game Con, or Gen Con, is to have some really good footage and also possibly do Q&As like mid-game. So we're going to hopefully try to, whenever we get the copy in, stream the game and have just public Q&A where people can ask all kinds of questions and shoot things at me, and I can answer them right on the spot.
Cool. Yeah, because that sounds like a lot of fun, because I'd love to try this out. Yeah, I've always enjoyed Scott Caputo's work, because I remember he did Whistle Stop, 100 Tori. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. But
Sorcerer City was one of the ones he recently did that was really good
Sorcerer
too.
City, yeah. So yeah, I've noticed a lot of tile laying. Is there any tile laying in this one at all, or?
So in this one, it's not like a tile laying in the sense that you're building a route. The only thing you're laying is like scaffolding and machines. So you're still building, but it's not across a map. It's more in this valley.
Okay. And then the water just slowly starts to rise and basically get ready to destroy everything. But we need to at least score everything before we get it destroyed. Kind of.
Yeah, so the water's coming up, and as water overpasses these, you've already scored your victory points. So this is one of the cool things. You score your victory points as you go. So at the end, you literally, what you have in front of you is what you have. So it's not a ton of extra scoring. You just have how many star points you have, and you can kind of utilize those to know who's winning instead of having to go through a score sheet and just write a whole bunch of things down.
We have somebody from Portland says, "Hi, Matt Ryan from Portland."
That is my amazing Aunt Mickey. She is actually one of the reasons I love my job so much. She gave me a lot of the inspiration for loving to travel and go different places. She's been a big traveler. She's been everywhere in the world. So, hi, Aunt Mickey.
That's awesome. Very cool. Does she, Mickey, do you like board games? Let us know what your favorite board game is in the chat. We'd love to know. Hopefully it's one from your nephew's company.
Well, like I said, we grew up with a lot of card games, so I'd imagine it's probably a card game. But we have euchre tournaments at most of our family events, so nice. we're big into card games.
See,
my grandma was like the best hearts player you'd ever meet.
Yeah, we used to play Hand and Foot a lot. Have you ever played Hand and Foot?
I've heard of it, but I don't know if I've played it.
I'll sometime whenever we get to a con together, I will make it a point to teach you the game. It involves 5 decks of cards right off the bat. 5 full decks.
Wow, that's right. Anything with decks of cards, you've already got me sold. I'm already in.
So hopefully, we'll find out. We'll find out if you like it. It all depends. I know there's 2 different ways that I learned it. One from my mother-in-law's side and one from my mother's side of the family. So slight variations, but yeah, fun stuff. So there was another game though about subways. And it's not about eating fresh. That's the one thing I know.
It's correct. There's no $5 footlongs in the game. You're totally right. But this one's called Maglev Metro. Now, one of the things I always tell people about this game is it's not like any other tile laying pickup and delivery sort of game. It's very, very unique. And the reason it's so unique is you're building this subway system to replace the existing transit system, and you're building it with magnetic levitation rails. So as you're building these new subway systems, our goal when we were making the game is how do we make it feel like you're building like a new transport system? So we have transparent tiles for the game. And so as you have these transparent tiles for the game and you're laying them on top of one another, they actually build what looks like a subway map. So you can't ever block another player because you can place your transparent tile on top of theirs and your routes won't cross. So essentially, when you get to the very end of the game, it looks like you have a real subway map. And all the maps are based on real cities. So the first maps that we're going to release are actually going to be Berlin and Manhattan. So one side of the board will have Berlin, and you flip it over, and the other side will have Manhattan. So you have different places all over the world that hopefully we'll be able to keep releasing maps for, and you'll be able to build these subways in all these different cities and build these new magnetic levitation rails in all these cities. But it's really, really unique. It's really fun. There's a little bit of Age of Steam feely to it, just because of how you're moving things and the building tracks. But magnetic levitation trains are all about efficiency. And so for this game, you're going to get points based on how efficient you are at moving these trains around. It's all about efficiency. It's got a really, really cool scoring mechanism where you're going to have a game board in front of yourself, and as you deliver passengers to their destinations, you get to populate them onto your game board to use new abilities or unlock extra actions or extra turns. So it's one that I've really, really enjoyed playing. Also, it's designed by Ted Alspach. I mean, he did Suburbia, he did Castles. I mean, Castles is actually one of the games that took me from like I play Monopoly, I play Settlers, and actually got me into like, these are like deep, in-depth games. I was like, Castles was one I was like, this feels like I played a video game. This feels like I played something truly engaging. I didn't just roll dice and do whatever it told me. I actually had choices to make, and I could manipulate things. And so it really sparked a lot for me. And so anytime Ted designs a game, I'm so excited to try it. And this one is like nothing I've ever played. Like, this one is one that I enjoy so much, and I've probably play tested it 100 times at this point. And it's one that I still just love getting to the table, because every time someone sees these transparent tiles start to lay on top of one another, they're like, this is really cool. This is unique. I need this game.
That's pretty awesome. When does that go for pre-order now?
So that's also available for pre-order on our website right now. But it's going to be releasing in late October, early November. Our game plan was to kind of release it at Essen time. But of course, with all the conventions and things, times and dates are a little fluid right now. So
what cons are not opening? What are not happening? What's going on?
They're like, Germany's like, you guys can stay over there. You guys are fine.
Yeah, they won't allow us over there right now. No, they won't even let us into Canada. It's all your fault, Angelica. Just so you know, I know you're watching. It's all your fault. All right, so no. So the other thing that we were going to talk about tonight, like we said, was the Wolf Conservation Fund. And I wanted to know, how did you all kind of get involved in that? How did you kind of get interested in it? And tell us just a little bit more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I personally have always been passionate about animals. Super big. I used to volunteer at humane shelters and do all kinds of things. And I've always been a big fan of going to zoos and aquariums and supporting zoos and aquariums that give the animals high quality of life, like really good quality of life. Because there's obviously some zoos that don't care as much about that. Knoxville Zoo, because we're Knoxville, actually has a really, really good habitat for all their animals and things. When I was there, we were walking around and I saw the wolves, and I was like, this is really interesting. And so I read the sign and I was like, 20? There's no way that there's only 20 left in the wild. And so I kind of had talked to the lady at the zoo about it. But it's really, really unreal that there's a species that low that people just don't know about. So when I started at Bezier, actually, which was later down the road, and we were looking for some things to do to support our community, one of my first suggestions was we should support the Knoxville Zoo. Like, they do so much good. We need to support them. They need all kinds of support from us. And the Knoxville Zoo has been improving every year, and they add new exhibits and new spaces for their animals. It's really, really cool. But I was like, we need to do this. And there was an option to sponsor a specific animal. And I Ted and Tony, I'm like, hey, check out these red wolves. They're really beautiful, majestic creatures, but they're very much dying off in the world. And Knoxville does one of the biggest habitations for them. And so we went ahead and, as a company, sponsored them. And beyond that, for me personally, I've been looking for different ways to help and sponsor anything to help them repopulate, because I think that they are a very majestic breed of wolf. Like, there's many wolves that are in near extinction, but the fact that 20 is just such a low number, like 20 in the world in the wild, like, it's unreal.
Yeah. No, they're the wolves that We used to live in Virginia, and we would go to the Living Museum and see the red wolves all the time. Like that was another daddy-daughter date thing that we would do a lot of the time. And it's sad that they're just kind of dying off because it's hard for them. So
yeah, I mean, they don't have a lot of space to do what they like to do, and so I think the fact that we're the ones kind of taking their space from them, I think it's our responsibility to help them continue to grow and continue to live if we're going to be the ones doing that. So for me, it's one of those things where it hits my heart because it's animals. Anything with animals, I cannot stand to see an animal suffer. Actually, we have on the way out to our office at Ted and Tony's, we drive kind of back through some windy roads. And I think almost everyone in the office at some point has stopped to pick up a turtle out of the road and move it to the side because there's just tons of turtles back where they live. They live kind of back by the water. And so like every couple of days, someone comes in the office, they're like, oh yeah, I had to pick up another turtle on the road. But we all will always stop because we're all big animal lovers.
And what type of turtles? Box turtles or?
It depends. I haven't seen a snapping yet. I'm a little apprehensive. I would get out to actually pick one up. I think I would just because I don't think I could stand to see an animal suffer. But we just make sure to grab, like our marketing manager, Allie, has told us to instruct, grab them by the back, make sure you pick them up gently and how to move them and everything. So we try to follow her instructions because she's like the turtle master.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think the only thing you ever have to worry about if you pick up a turtle is you might get peed on. There's a possibility of it happening. I know that from experience.
Yeah, but if I get peed on and the turtle lives, I would consider that a win for the day. Yeah,
that's very true. That's really cool. Well, if anybody in here right now wants to ask any questions of Matt, please go ahead and ask. While you're asking questions, we're just going to talk a little bit about turtles. What was your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Michelangelo, but that's because I think I related the most to him just because he was goofy and always accidentally messed stuff up. And I felt like growing up that kind of was parallel with me. How about you, Chris? Which one was your favorite?
I was always a fan of Raphael. I just something about like he was this cool dude and he had a little attitude to him. And of course, the size looked really cool, which at the time I'm just like, oh, those aren't swords, but they're sharp and pointy and they look cool. So I would get excited when I get a chance to have the action figures and play and stuff like that. So I think, it was my favorite. And then, of course, when you finally get to see like the Ninja Turtles movies and
oh my gosh,
like Vanilla Ice singing "Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go, Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go." That's fun.
No. It's like one of the best scenes. Like I still have that song on my iTunes, and I still listen to it because, as terrible of a song as it is, it brings that nostalgia back. That funny nostalgia.
It really does. I mean, the 80s and 90s were interesting times, but there were some of the most fun memories in regards to some of the movies that came out. So, here's a good question. We got a question from Christopher Graham. Let's see here. What's a good Bezier game for a beginner looking to go beyond the Monopoly stage?
Oh, that is a great question. So I think that there are a couple of different ones. I'd say a good one, Chris Graham is actually one of my oldest friends. I've known him since forever. But I would say New York Slice is probably a good one, just because it's one that's good entry level. It has pretty simple mechanics to it. It doesn't feel like Monopoly, but it feels like it's at the same gaming level. But it's called New York Slice, and essentially one player is going to divide the pieces of this pizza into sections, but the player who divides it gets whatever's left over. So they have to divide it very carefully to make sure that they can try to get some of the pieces they want at the end. And so all the other players take their chunk first, and then the player who divides it gets whatever the leftover is. And then everyone goes around and gets a chance to do that. And then whoever has the most of each number gets that many points. So it's pretty simple to pick up and play. Pretty easy to explain. And probably your whole family could participate.
Very true. And I think my favorite, the favorite daily special I know, I think you all had a promo at one point where it's Yuck, where it's the eaten slices of pizzas can count as points if I'm correct. So.
Yeah, there's also one called Lick a Slice, which is pretty gross. There's some pretty funny ones. And there's like extra cheese and dipping sauce that are worth some extra good points. So there's all kinds. I think it's a good one for really starting people into realizing how much more there could be to board games.
All right. Other than your basic pepperoni pizza, what's your favorite style of pizza?
I like. It sounds weird, but I like Supreme, but leave the black olives 1,000 miles away from it. Like, never put any olives on my pizza ever. But a Supreme pizza with no olives, you're talking my language.
Uh, have you ever had a potato skin pizza?
I have not, but I'm curious. What is a potato skin pizza, Chris?
Okay, so do you like gluten-free crust at all? Because I
I
enjoy
have
it.
nothing against it. I will eat any pizza on any crust. I am pretty much a Ninja Turtle in that aspect of my life.
All right, nice. All right, so it's a pizza. It's like a square style gluten-free pizza crust. It's kind of got made with an egg, and it's really well done. And then it's topped with mashed potatoes, with a little bit of garlic, and then sharp cheddar cheese spread all across it, and bacon slices basically cut up like nice, not those little bacon bits that you get on potato skins, but like nice chunky pieces of bacon on top of it, baked in the oven. Comes out, scallions on top, and then right afterwards, a nice little bit of sour cream right in the middle. Just kind of enjoy.
That sounds awesome. I'm a big potato skin fan, so I think that's going to be on my weekend plans. Maybe that'll be my Father's Day dinner. I like that.
Oh, it's really good. It's not too hard to make if you can make mashed potatoes. Best way to do it. So just pop it in the oven. Just get the pizza crust. But I think Edie's or Udi's, I don't know what is the gluten-free company. They make a lot of gluten-free stuff, and we do a lot of gluten-free in the house. But yeah, highly recommend it. So
That sounds, I mean, like I said, potato skins are right up my alley, so I think that's going to be a good one.
I was gonna say, you can always, if you're ever in this neck of the woods, come on by. We'll go out and get a slice, and we can get some draft root beer as well. Have you ever had draft root beer?
I have not. Is it from the A&W?
No, it's like it's a root beer on draft. I don't know. It's
I saw you drinking out of your A&W mug, and I was like,
oh, I do love my A&W mug. Yes, no, but it's on tap. It's like at a little bar called Pies and Pints. They have all these different types of local beers and breweries that have the beer there, but they have root beer on tap, which is really cool. And it's got that nice subtle hint of anise and a little bit of vanilla to it. It's perfect. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Now I'm hungry right now. So
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna have to go get sarsaparilla and a pizza now. Like, it's on.
Well, Matt, I want to say thank you very much for coming on tonight. Everybody, I want to tell you all thank you. Remember, there's a couple things that you do. If I'm correct, we've put the link already for the conservation fund where you can actually help out. And if I'm correct, I know there's a donate button on that site where you can actually help donate towards the actual conservation of wolves and be able to help out towards red wolves, which are just beautiful, majestic creatures that sadly are running low, like 20 left in the U.S., I know. Or just, is it 20 in the U.S. alone? Or
20 in the wild period. They're they're in the U.S., but that's where their habitat naturally is.
Yeah. So 20 out in the wild period. You can actually help out towards that, which is awesome. Also, like we talked about tonight, silver coin already available on Bezier's site, so you can order that now. Then we talked about Whistle Mountain, which is going to be a Gen Con release. You can pre-order it already on Bezier's website and get a chance to get a little taste of it at Gen Con Online. Right, Gen Con Online? You were talking about? Okay. And then what about VGC? Do we have a chance of seeing any of it at VGC?
Yeah, we're going to try to present everything that comes in and we have ready to show for VGC. VGC just kind of snuck up on us at the time that it was placed, and so we're just trying to figure out exactly what we're going to have together for that.
Gotcha. And then also Maglev Metro, which is going to be coming out October, November-ish, was originally an Essen release, but of course, if you know, Essen is not happening. So
I don't think there's any. I think the only convention that hasn't officially canceled is PAX Unplugged. That's on my calendar, and I imagine they will, but it just hasn't been official yet.
If they don't, I can picture that being ridiculously crazy filled with people, because if nobody's able to go to Gen Con or Dice Tower or BGG or any of those other cons, they've got to go somewhere. And I mean, if that's going to be the one that's open, it is going to be packed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's actually a really good one because the last 2 years their attendance has just been crazy. So I would like to see it happen, but again, I want to make sure everybody's safe is priority one. So if they choose to don't, I totally respect their choice.
Yeah, and I mean, if you do go to a con like PAX Unplugged, one of the best things that I know is that their security is top notch. Mm-hmm. They really take care of the people that are coming through the doors and making sure that it's a safe and welcoming environment, which is awesome. But yeah, and then of course, happy Father's Day again to you, Matt.
Yeah, and same to you, Chris.
Thank you. And if any of you also are fathers out there, we hope you all have a happy Father's Day this Sunday. And we thank you very much for coming on tonight. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off. See you later.
Bye, everybody.